We have with us Vladimir Matias. He's managing partner of Asset Capital Partners. He joins us live from our offices over in Moscow. So good morning to you, Vladimir. Let me ask you, first of all, will these attacks on Moscow's metro system deter foreign investors? Because they're a reminder, aren't they, of the political problems that Russia faces, specifically with separatists in the North Caucasus?
The stock exchange has shown yesterday so that investors regarded this event as a one-off event and did not fear to, let's say, to support the trading activities, meaning the short-term thinking was not shocked because people do not expect further aggravation of the situation. However, it is a very, let's say, bad sign, and investors, of course, think about this, especially the long-term investors, foreign direct investors. They, of course, take into consideration things like that, also terrorism. However, the practice show that investors overcome those fears and do invest in Russia because the profit expectations are still very good in different sectors, such as retail, such as food production, such as import substitution sectors, but also mining and metals. So they do go into Russia for larger profits, which are larger than in developed countries.
Now, what about the real economy? Are these attacks likely to have any impact on Russia's recovery?
Yes, to a certain extent, of course, because it is a shock. People understand that not everything is very stable in Russia. They still have risks of instability in certain regions, such as North Caucasus. Russia, Kremlin has to get grip of those problems, which is not easy. The only mean is getting to a more, let's say, quiet water in this respect, is to develop those regions to the extent the people are satisfied and like living there and have no political problems and national problems of such magnitude as it was before.
Now, the stock market yesterday, rather than falling back after the terror attacks, it actually rose to its highest level in 2 months. How do you explain that?
Well, greed goes before all fears. Basically, the explanation is that people are looking backwards. And looking backwards, meaning that pre-crisis levels of stock exchange indexes were pretty high. And after the crisis, for over a year, the RTS index, Russian trading system index, has grown more than 300%. So, and investors look backwards, they compare, and they say, okay, why not go into this? But again, this is a stock market, and if we are talking about a long-term foreign direct investors, such as private equity, the situation is a little bit different.
Now, one investor actually said to us, he said the only way you would have seen a reaction is if they had actually attacked oil output in Russia. Now, I wonder what that says about the diversity of Russia's economy.
Well, in one thing, all the analytical agencies are right. This is that Russia is too dependent on natural resources, too dependent on oil and gas. It is still true. We see direct correlation between the oil price, gas price, and the overall economy indices, including the state budget, including the economic strategy of the country. So yes, the country bitterly needs diversification, and this diversification means into different sectors. It is announced in the state program by the president, by the prime minister, that Russia has to be more innovative, supporting innovative sectors such as new technologies, going into more diversification, processing of natural resources rather than simple exporting. So, meaning Russia does need diversification.
How would you sum up the state of Russia's recovery? Is it still pretty fragile?
It is going well. We see it here. So not only on the stock exchange. The stock exchange is just one sort of element for investment activities or indicator. We see also in other sectors, people look in the sectors, people look in the economy and would like to invest. We see in the automotive sector, for example, the automotive suppliers are pretty active. The automotive industry in Russia is in a quite poor state. We see also...
Okay.
Yep.
We've got to leave it there. Vladimir Matias, thanks very much for joining us. We appreciate it.